Hey guys, what's going on? It's Filmington, and in this video, I'm going to be showing off some cards that I'll be submitting to PSA this week. It's a mix of ultra modern bulk, and regular service. But before I get into that, I just wanted to give people a reminder that I will be doing my second ever auction on my channel, and that is going to be live on Thursday, August 20th at 8 p.m. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time in just a couple days. The first one I did was a huge success. This one will be better, I think. I'm going to try to stick to all auction style listings, no fixed prices, keep things really entertaining for everybody. And also it's going to be 99% modern baseball. There's not going to be any garbage. It's going to be all hot rookies and desirable cards, some base, probably some parallels as well. A lot of slabs, PSA as well as SGC. And people can pay through either PayPal FNF or GNS. And there's going to be a base or flat shipping rate of $4. Doesn't matter how much you buy. There might actually be some blasters that'll be auctioning off as well. Not the crappy stuff, the good stuff, guys. And here are just some examples of some cards that I'm going to be auctioning off. The scratches there are on the Perfect Fit sleeve. This guy right here, 7 RBIs yesterday. Maybe some lots like this. You know, first edition Bobby Witt, Chapman, Bieber, Acuna, Eloy, Arenado, and a bunch of other good stuff, guys. All right, so let's move on to the PSA preparation. Here are some of the lower end stuff. I'll do the higher end stuff or the mid end stuff towards the end. All right, we got... This is just the Series 1 base from Uncata. I was kind of holding this back till the update started to go up a bit more. So it's finally worth submitting these to PSA, I think. Do have his Chrome. The Chrome update is the one you want, but this one has shown some signs of life as well. I picked up, I think it was like a 28 card lot, and then it included like 21 of these. And basically I was paying like 50 cents per. So I did get a lot of the Topps update in there too. So almost like as a throw-in, I got these. And then the Topps update, Moncada's. One of my favorite post-hype players right now. Ohtani, not doing so well right now. I actually held back a bunch of his regular Topps Chrome, but these Topps Chrome updates made the cut. Now, I spoke in a recent video. It was a live stream that I uploaded about my new affinity for pajama cards or Donruss / Panini cards, mostly for the generational type players and the rookie cards and the parallels I particularly like. Check out that video, the last one I uploaded. It's called like Bowman Chrome Cannibalization Auto, the rebirth of the shiny insert, and that's kind of where I was talking about this. I just think that I'll just sum it up with just a few words. I think the hobby was made relevant again with pack-pulled certified autographs and relics. I think that helped. But I think what's going to keep it relevant is rookie cards as well as shiny inserts and parallels like this. And I think Topps isn't satiating people's hunger for beautiful, creative artwork, basically. And I think Panini takes it to a different level. I think that the Prism train is one that is not going to stop anytime soon. Clearly, we've seen what it's done across all sports, and it's not just the rookie cards. It's the first Prism cards. We've seen it with football, 2012. A lot of those cards went up probably like 4 or 5x earlier this year. Of course, with LeBron, with basketball, and everybody else. And then with Trout, and that's not even a real rookie card. And that's the key one to look at because that is baseball. That is unlicensed. So I just think there's a lot of room there. So you saw here a lot of the So of those first few were the Donruss Hollows. I bought those for like 35, 40 bucks each. Thought that was pretty good. These are Hypers that are numbered to 299. I have 3 that I'm submitting. I picked up a few more. Some didn't make the cut. This is just a base. The Hypers I got for probably a range of like between 40 and 65. These are around like 15 to 20 usually, sometimes like low 20s. This is the base. And the Silvers are around like 65 to 75 usually. Aesthetically, probably the best looking and also maybe the most desirable, even though it's not numbered. I assume they made more of these than the Hypers that are numbered to 299, but I don't know. This is all based on, projected demand of when they made the set. It is baseball, but it is silver, and people have loved silvers for a while. Of course, they've gone to new heights in the last year or two. And these are numbered to 199. So the Hypers are numbered to 299. And these are like the red Mojos, I think. But I think it's kind of cool because it sort of matches the uniform color. If the front of his shirt was showing and the product was licensed. And then we got a Soto. Got this one for pretty cheap. Now you're going to probably pay at least double. I think I got this one for around like 30, 35, the Hyper. All right, so Austin Meadows, picked up a bunch of his stuff from ComC. And the one thing I like about ComC, well, the one thing I do with ComC, if I have a bunch of cards where I'm like, I kind of want to get those graded, but I could flip them really quickly too, I'll try to pick out the best half based on something I can tell from the pictures. And I try to get those ones shipped home. And with these, it was the corners. Now, ComC's pictures aren't the best. You can zoom in, you can, flip them over. But I think what hurt was the photography on this picture. You really couldn't tell like where the corner started and stopped, where the design started and stopped. And I think ComC's background being white with this particular card, with some of these corners being whiter, it was just tough to tell. So I did my best, but of the maybe 15 to 20 cards I had shipped home, only 3 made the cut with Meadows. Like this guy a lot. He's healthy again, and I think the Rays have a chance to go deep in the playoffs. Phil Foden, soccer, don't ask, but picked up a lot of his cards, 4 Donruss and 1 Optic. The Optic one was a little banged up, but these Donruss cards look pretty nice. I think you're looking to buy these now. It's like 15 to 20 bucks. I paid about 10 each for the base. Crazy with soccer right now. Juan Franco Bowman Chrome. So I got 4 of these. This one's now like 150 bucks into 10, despite the PSA 10 pop about 7K. This one barely made the cut. Vlad Jr. From my rip of 2018 Bowman Mega. I mean, this sells for about 30 bucks into 10 on a good day, maybe. He hasn't really been performing well. I picked up 3 of these sky blue foils of all the players and prospects that are in 2020 Bowman. John Diaz is one of the under the radar guys that I kind of like. So I was fortunate enough to pick up these 3 and for them not to have significant dings. Of course, I was able to assess the centering beforehand. Seemed good enough. And these aren't numbered, but these are pretty desirable, especially since they're first edition. I picked up a lot of first Bowman Mega from a friend, trying to kind of do him a favor, I guess. I don't usually buy Megas in lots or singles, but this was the only one that was centered that I'm submitting. Months ago, probably in like March or April, I picked up a ton of these Yordan Alvarez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 made the cut of about, I want to say like 30 that I picked up from ComC. I got a bunch already slabbed in SDC holders, and might as well get him off to PSA as well. Hopefully his knee issues aren't going to hinder him too much this year. Zach Gallen, really cheap ComC pickup. I figured, maybe the guy that uploaded this doesn't really know who he is, so maybe it, hasn't been picked over for grading. I think I got pretty lucky. 1 for 1 on the ComC purchase, because I only picked up one of these gallons. I think it was like $6 or $7. I think a stat came out recently where he's had like 16 or 17 starts in a row with 3 earned runs allowed or less, and how that's like has some historical significance. Forget exactly what, but picked up a bunch of these Zions. I think like 7 or 8 in total. I think it's kind of an undervalued card. Lico3 actually pointed it out to me, and usually his advice is good. So around 30 bucks. The key is the centering, I think, on these ones. Probably get a bunch of 9s, but it is Zion. So, and maybe his prices have fallen a bit over the last week, I've heard. So I'm not sure if this one's cheaper now. But Don Russ is a very, I wouldn't say a high-end brand now, but it is a one that's worth pursuing, I think. Eric, those back pages points it to Luka and Mahomes in 2017, 2018. How they kind of revived the brand. And then these are the 2 Miguel Cabreras. I purchased 7 and a lot from eBay. That made the cut. Very, very clean. I was very impressed. Even the other ones were actually decent. But these ones could be 9s or 10s maybe. So these ones I'll probably submit, I have to submit them separately from the other cars I just showed because they're not 2017 and up, so they're not ultra modern, but I do want them to go in bulk. Now here is the stuff that I'll send regular service. I want to get it back a little bit sooner. I'll pay the 20 bucks-ish to do that. LeBron James, okay, second year, tops. The chrome version of this is very expensive. This is numbered to 500, I believe. Yeah, 181 out of 500. One of my friends picked this up in a PSA 8 for 750 bucks, and I was able to get this for, I believe, 350, and I think it does have 8 upside. Clearly, it's got some chipping. Black borders are always going to be tough. The top corners aren't that great, especially the top left, but the centering is okay for a PSA 8. I think it maybe has a better chance to get a 7. Bottom left corner here is a little dinged up. But I'll definitely take a 7 for half the cost of an 8, less than half the cost of an 8. And with LeBron stuff, it's probably more expensive now anyways. Cam Newton, I got pretty lucky. One of these was a snap out from BCCG. It was a BCCG 10. I guess at the time, like PSA 10s weren't that incredibly pricey. So that's the benefit you get when there's some like recent news of a kind of a fringe player that's like barely worth submitting. You know, a lot of people have jacked up the prices, but when they did that, they weren't thinking like, oh, maybe it would make more sense for me to actually get this graded because PSA 10s, you know, might triple, you know, in the next 2 or 3 weeks of this card. So I was able to get lucky. I think I picked up like 6, maybe 5 or 6 of the Topps flagship. And I think 2 of these have a chance of gemming, which is nice. Again, one in a BCCG holder. This was another snap out. Really high subgrades on this guy. So this, of course, is the gold parallel. I bought this in a lot from somebody, and it was a guy who definitely submits a lot of stuff for grading, or he owns a lot of graded cards, but he also, I saw, has a slight maybe bias towards Beckett. So I thought that, okay, maybe that's one of the reasons why he hasn't tried to cross these over, because he sent me very good pictures of the cards, and I actually bought 2 BGS 9.5 Sotos from him of the gold variety. I think I paid like $1,320. He wanted some money to cover the fees, so I think I gave him something like that. And I mean, this is technically the lesser of the 2, and I think it has a really great chance of crossing. 2 10 subgrades, a 9 centering, which I think might be top-bottom centering on this card. Left-right doesn't look that bad. And then the other subgrade was a 9.5. So taking this out of the slab was definitely the smartest thing for me to do. PSA is not going to want to see that 9. I think it has a chance. And the value of this card in a PSA 10 is now, it must be slightly over 2,000 now. I'm guessing that Tatis will eventually follow suit. Acuna. Okay, so still probably a good deal, even though Acuna has been struggling a bit. He's now in the IL with a wrist injury. Second year card, camo, maybe not as desirable as black to most, even though it's more rare. But it is a cup, so I love it. Picked it up for $140. The guy had it $150 OBO, and he gave me $10 off, which was nice. So I was going to be prepared to pay full asking. It does have a chance. It's, it's probably a 9, but it does have a 10 chance. So that'd be a sick card in a 10, I think. Second year, Luka Doncic. This card's probably doubled since I bought it. I think I paid around like 55 for it. I was told by some experts that I maybe paid too much. It's a Donruss Hollow. I figured, like, there's a lot of upside here. If you believe in Luka, then his second year stuff's got to come up eventually. And I know it already had, probably previously to me buying it. It's gone up more with the way he's been playing recently. I told a bunch of people recently that, or at least when I talked about 2020 Bowman, that I wouldn't be buying any like high-end or mid-end autographs of any of the players. But I also spoke in a recent video about how I think it's important to take advantage of market inefficiencies. And I actually have one more of these. So 3 total of these greens numbered to 99 of Robert Puason. Basically, if you look at Matt Chapman, if you look at AJ Puck, 2 players that still play for the A's, and if you look at their Bowman draft first chrome autographs from the years 2014 and 2016, respectively, you will see, at least what I saw earlier this year, I assume it hasn't changed, that the green parallel actually goes for the same amount as the blue, more desirable parallel, the original blue color. And it's because of that uniform. It matches the uniform. It just looks nice. So by the time I bought these Poissons, I mean, these cards have dropped a bit ever since the minor leagues were canceled, and I think prospects overall have just taken a bit of a hit. These cards have come down a bit, but I think they could come back up. Now, these aren't technically the same. It's not technically the same situation as with AJ Puck and Matt Chapman, because this is a retail product, a retail exclusive color, whereas with Bowman Draft, there was no retail, and retail it's almost frowned down upon. And there's multiple reasons why. Technically, it's easier to target green autographs. I mean, it doesn't make them easy to find. There's still only 99 of them. There's some shimmers too, which I wouldn't touch personally, but I don't know. It just seems like if you look at like Juan Franco, Julio Rodriguez, some of the guys that are in the 2019 product, their green autographs are like way under what I would provide the multiplier. The multiplier being like about 2.5x base, where with blue it's usually around like 3.5 to 4.5 for most players. But with the guys that are featured in Bowman, which does have that retail configuration, it seems like their greens are selling for closer to like 1.5, 1.75 or 2, and they're not getting that full 2.5x because of that retail stigma, which is unfortunate. But still, there's 99 of them. I think these cards look sick. They definitely look nicer than the blues. This one, it's got a smudged autograph. I would send it to Beckett because it's got some surface stuff going on, and I don't think it's going to jam with PSA. So I would try to get that 9.5, but I'm not going to get a 9.5 and not get that auto graded with Beckett, or else it's just going to look stupid and people are going to know why, because they're going to look at the autograph. The guy I bought it from, sometimes you have to be wary with Facebook groups. People saying like, when you ask them, is there anything wrong with the surface? In parentheses, you can put roller marks, dimples, impressions, scratches. You can list anything, and they'll say, not that I can see. And they'll send you these pictures that it looks like they're using a phone from like 2007 when they take them. It's like, is there a setting just to make that blurry so I can't tell? And it'll be from one angle. So sometimes you just have to be, really, really careful, little wary when making deals for raw cards on, like, especially through Facebook groups, because sometimes it won't be the limitations of the camera. It'll be the person's shicey behavior. I have no idea. I mean, the guy still seemed like a decent guy, and I would have just preferred he told me about the surface issues. I would have been fine probably buying it anyways, but it's just like, come on, you got to just disclose that. I'm not going to try to return it or anything, but the third one I have that's not shown is actually the best copy. That might be the only one that gets a 10, unfortunately. All right, and then we got some Lebrons. Last time I checked this card, a PSA 10. This is Mosaic base. The PSA 10 was going for a little bit over $200, which is insane. I guess these grade pretty tough, Picked up, I think, 9 of these, and I got pretty lucky. A lot of them don't have surface issues, so we'll see with those ones. And the last card that I plan to try to cross to PSA with a minimum grade of 10 will be this Topps Update Gold Juan Soto. The other one I alluded to. Of course, you see the subgrades there are at least 9.5 across. Got that 10 edge, which is great. Most importantly, though, the card looks clean inside the slab. It looks like it wasn't overgraded, maybe a little undergraded. Just a really nice example. So I'll be trying to cross this with a minimum grade of a 10. Of course, as I said, these cards have gone up quite a bit, which is great with Soto. I think when I purchased this, the base was still selling for like 135. Now it's closer to 300. So the gold hasn't quite gone up 2.5, but it's gone up a bunch. So, I mean, you're never going to be able to like read off these subgrades to yourself and have some sort of expected probability of crossing this over just based on that. The biggest variable is always going to be the card itself. With Beckett, you have the advantage of it being a little bit thicker of a slab, a little bit cloudier maybe, and the PSA grader, SGC grader that sees this is not going to be able to see it as well as if it was in an SGC or PSA slab probably. That's to your advantage, but that also means that those grading companies won't want to take the risk of cracking it out because there could be something they might be missing. So, all right, so that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys like you saw. Just another reminder, my live auction, second ever auction on my channel is going to be this Thursday, August 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of good stuff. No garbage. Got some bonus coverage for those of you that haven't left yet. My friend asked me to look over these Luka Doncic base Prism rookie cards. I'm sure this card's done really well for him, even if these all get 9s, which a lot will. Centering, you can kind of tell from the space after that third dot. And you kind of compare it to this side and see that, oh wow, that looked like it was centered, but maybe it's more like 70-30. I'm guessing 2/3 of these will get 9s just because of centering and like one other maybe small issue related to the surface. Top to bottom centering is an issue with a number of these as well. But good luck to my friend. And then there's a few other cards that I just got in the mail that I have to look at. Acuna's got some more. Got a silver, another silver, and a hyper number to 299. If you're wondering why I'm only buying Acuna, a lot of it's because I don't really have an allocation towards him right now. I decided from that 2018 draft class that I'm just going to put all my eggs pretty much in the Soto basket, which has worked out so far at least. And I just think right now Acuna is just a better buy based on what Acuna is doing, not doing on the field, than what Soto is with like a 1,500 OPS and 7 home runs and like 30 plate appearances. He's been incredible. Looks like for him, the postseason never ended last year. He's hitting breaking balls opposite field for home runs, and geez, he almost hit home runs in back-to-back pitches yesterday. The first one was foul by about, I don't know, like 4 feet. Would have been an opposite field grand slam, and on the next pitch, he hit a line drive to center field warning track. Missed a home run again by about 4 feet. And I picked up a few of these Tatis. The PSA 10 broke 1,000 for like a day or two. A lot of those listings were probably shilled, maybe not paid for. But I truly think right now in a PSA 10, this is worth at least $600. And the reason has to do with PSA 10 pop. It's well under 1,000 for this guy versus I showed Wander Franco earlier. That's 7,000 right there. Acuna, I think it's over 5,000. So why can't this card be worth 610? So I picked up some of these raw. They're actually cleaner than I thought. I think they might all at least 9. Who knows? I might get lucky with the 10. All right, guys, that is it for real. Take care, guys. Filmington out.